Hello, Rainbow Warriors. Rainbow? Oh, yes, because in 1996 we became the Rainbow Nation. And as teachers, we are warriors. In 1996, after the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa was introduced and we became known as the Rainbow Nation, the principle of inclusive education was also introduced. We came to understand that inclusive education was an important part of being a truly democratic country, because so many learners had been academically disadvantaged in so many ways that it became fundamental for teachers to adopt the model of the inclusive classroom. And the inclusive classroom is exactly what it says: a classroom in which every learner is made to feel included and valued. The special needs spectrum is vast and ranges from children with behavioral and emotional problems to children who have cognitive and physical impairments. Although the conditions may differ, there are some things that are common for all of these children. They have all in some way experienced failure. And without fail, their self-esteem and sense of self-worth has been affected. There are also no easy solutions or recipes for dealing with children with special needs because each child is different and there is no one-size-fits-all approach. Essentially, it rests on the identity of the teacher and requires a certain degree of emotional intelligence and empathy in our approaches. I suppose a simple definition of empathy would be the practice of putting ourselves in the other person's shoes, literally trying to feel how it must be for them. It doesn't mean looking at someone with a problem and feeling compassion for them. It means really trying to imagine how it must feel to be that person. If we apply this to a child in our classrooms, it will make a big difference to the way that we treat that child. It leads to trying to understand rather than make a quick judgment. So instead of becoming irritated by that boy who always behaves in ways that draw attention to himself, we try to understand how it feels for that boy and why he has that need. When we come across someone in grade 9 who is still struggling to read, we try to understand the impact that this must have on every single aspect of that child's life. And then, with this understanding at the forefront of our minds, we try to come up with opportunities that will help these children to cope and improve. As teachers, we have to work on our own emotional intelligences because this is a very demanding task. Classes are very large, and with the demands of our jobs, it's no easy task to try to find ways to support individual learners. We have to make sure that we are patient and tolerant, and that we never become angry or slip into that route of making unkind and flippant remarks. I remember many years ago helping a child who was struggling with maths concepts when he was in grade 10. He felt desperate and he regularly called himself stupid. I worked with him by giving him clay and asked him to make me 2 pots. We spent time on the construction and decoration of the pots and he loved the work. Then I started in on the maths remediation. How much did each pot weigh? Which one was the heaviest? How did we know this? What did we have to do to establish this? If we wanted to make more pots, how much clay would we need? And so on. But one can't do that in a class of 45 learners. One has to come up with other ways of assisting. Unless, of course, you have enough clay to let every learner in the class have some and make a pot. In fact, that could be quite a fun activity. And imagine all of the multiplying and dividing and addition and subtraction that you could do with 45 pots. Inclusive really does mean inclusive. It means making sure that all of our children are included and participating and feeling that they have a role to play in the process. It means that we need to see each learner not only as a part of the group, but as an individual who has different needs, abilities, and responses. It means that we have to rely on our teacher knowledge base. We have to know our learners, and we have to know our content. And then we have to know how to teach our learners our content in ways that are appropriate for our particular learners. Remember, this is called pedagogical content knowledge. It's so important that we work on our identities as teachers, making them rich and full, so that we can become the kinds of teachers who are meaningful and worthwhile in the classroom for every learner. We've spoken so much about the ways that our world is quickly changing, and we really don't know how this is going to impact on us. The fact that I currently have students as far away as Dubai, France, and Korea still astounds me. And those very changes are already impacting our classrooms in so many ways. We have immigrant children who can hardly speak English, but that does not equate to low intelligence. We have children who've been raised with cell phones and screens as digital babysitters and whose social skills are very underdeveloped. But that does not mean that they can't learn to grow and share and become a meaningful part of society. We have children who struggle to see, but who perceive the world with sharp intelligence. And it is up to us, as caring, empathetic super beings, to make sure that they are included in every aspect of our teaching and learning worlds, because they matter, because they are also rainbows. Take care of yourselves and stay safe. I'll see you again.